This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Joining us today is Ajan Reginald, the CEO of Roquefort Therapeutics. Thank you very much for joining us again. Ajan, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Great to be back.
Yes, it's good to be talking to you again. Of course, we met for the first time at that momentous event where I got a bit of an insight into what the company was all about. And really, we wanted to do this interview just to really get a summary of 2022. If you can summarise the main achievements. I know some of the highlights were raising that £1 million, moving on with the plans for the different programmes that you have. So if you can perhaps round up 2022, and then we can talk about perhaps what you want to achieve next year.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I think with 2022, it's been a great year for us to get all of our ducks aligned, get everything in place, build a very strong foundation from which we can move forward. We completed the acquisition of Oncogenie. We put in place now our management team and our scientific team. We have a number of preclinical studies ongoing and have our own lab now established. And as you quite rightly highlighted, in probably what for many people is the toughest market we've seen for many years, we're able to raise single-digit millions quickly from some very good investors and move very forward with integrating Oncogenie and therefore expanding our portfolio from 2 innovative medicines to 4 innovative medicines, which for a small company is a great portfolio. So I think, to recap, I think 2022 was about getting the right structure in place, absolutely progressing the value-driving milestones or the value-driving programs, but also doing that in a way that we've got a very strong foundation from which we can then now really start to deliver value by progressing those key programs through the milestones that we've talked about.
Excellent. So really this year was all about, laying the foundations and moving on. Getting that £1 million is very, very good in these tough markets. How long will that see you for? I mean, that's a nice buffer to have going into next year, is it not?
Yes. So we're fully funded through to the end of the preclinical development as we plan to be. I think the funding that we're able to put in to the company, even in a tough market, I think highlights the potential of the programs and the potential of the portfolio, but perhaps also reflects that even in a tough market, companies that have the right strategy and the right approach will always be interesting to investors. And what I mean by that is, our fundamental approach or our fundamental skill set is that ability to identify early innovation, perhaps a little bit earlier than others would see it. Therefore, we're able to acquire it that little bit cheaper. And therefore use our skill set to take it from just a good idea or early innovation into something that has significant commercial value. And I think the replicability of that model and our unique skill set and track record in taking that early innovation and making it into something which is a viable candidate medicine is going to be our source of differentiation going forwards. I mean, I think that's a sustainable piece. Yes, I'm confident that one or more of our programs will make it into a pre-IND phase. We've done this before, and we have confidence that we can do that. But I think this is a really interesting model. The UK and Europe as a whole is a great source of of innovation, particularly of biotech and medical innovation. We have some of the best scientists in the world. We have some of the best doctors in the world. We have the right academic and governmental structures to produce great innovation. Where Europe always struggles is the commercial expertise and the leadership teams to take that innovation and convert it into medicines. And perhaps also the willingness to identify technology early. We're a little bit more conservative in Europe, and therefore we like to follow other people. We like to be perhaps second or third. And I think with Roquefort, we're saying, no, we're actually capable. We've got the track record. We're able to identify early innovation early, and we know how to develop it, and we're capable of doing that ourselves.
Okay. So potentially you're looking to change the landscape then for junior pharmaceutical and biotech companies in the UK. That's very good to hear. How are you going to get there though? That's the big thing. We're looking into 2023. I hope you have plans to get there. What are the key milestones and objectives you want to achieve?
Yeah, I think the UK has got one or two companies that have done this before, but I think certainly using or having this as your method, your playbook, I think is a little bit new for the UK. But ultimately, as you say, 2023 is about delivering these programs to a stage where we can see that they are valued commercially. So really, 2023 is about operationalizing our approach. It's taking these 4 programs, progressing them to a point where we're completing the key experiments and demonstrating that we're able to do those within budget, on schedule, and deliver the results that we promised.
Okay. For all 4 programs, that's the objective for next year, to be significantly advanced in all of them, or would you like to see 1 or 2 actually entering those early stage trials?
So we're moving all 4 programs forward. I think we'll make rational decisions on whether we focus on less programs towards the end of next year, just on a commercial basis. It may well be that some programs are so attractive to other pharma companies that it's in the best interest of us and our shareholders that those programs are licensed out then. There may be other programs where we believe in-house we've got the depth of expertise. In some cases, we may have the most expertise to develop those programs further. So I think for us, it's using that rational approach. We need to have a reasonable number of programs so that we can get to a point where we can make those good decisions on what's the optimal way to create value for shareholders once we've got the critical data for each of those programs.
Okay. And then just looking in the very short term, let's say Q1, any key things happen in Q1 for the company with regards to the programs?
So you probably noticed, or shareholders will notice, that we've been able to present our data at most of the key conferences in Europe and certainly most recently in Singapore as well. So we're doing more of that. As we deliver more data, we're careful to present that so it's scrutinized by the medical community and the pharmaceutical community, so everyone is seeing what we're doing, but also building that momentum. So yeah, more of that, and then towards the end of Q1, beginning of Q2, yes, programs are reaching completion of key experiments.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Ajan Reginald, the CEO of Roquefort Therapeutics, for your time today.
Thank you, pleasure.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.